Ready? Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. I'm the Gray Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Saturday, April 29th, 2023. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Let's find out. Let's get the first 5 cards started in our 5-card spread. First card we are coming through with today is Justice in its reversal. A lot of attention today to looking at situations and scenarios in your life or around you right now that may be causing or creating some sense of imbalance. I'm not necessarily surprised to see this card right now, especially if you've been following our daily card pulls and the collective read. There is a lot of attention right now in creating some sense of balance or creating a moment of balance, particularly as we go through this retrograde period. Let's continue to get our cards. The second card for our 5-card spread for today is the 6 of Wands in its reversal. What are you trying to correct right now as it relates to this imbalance? Specifically, there's a lot of attention that you are paying right now, not just to places or situations or scenarios that have some imbalance, but these situations and places and scenarios that have these imbalances are the ones where you do not feel like you are being seen or appreciated or celebrated for the work that you're doing to the capacity or the degree that you would ideally desire to be. It is for this reason that this could feel very frustrating, because it is requiring you to look at these spaces and look at these places and acknowledge not just the fact that there is an imbalance in these spots, but that you're not necessarily feeling like you're getting the credit that you are ideally desiring from these points. Continuing to get clarification on these, I'm feeling some anxieties as it relates to having a victory and creating this balance for yourself right now. Next card we have for our 5-card spread, we've got 2 cards coming out for our center card right now, and oh my gosh, what 2 cards they are. And boy, oh boy, is this going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine right now, there is a heavy conversation in trusting your intuition, in getting in connection with your higher insight. We have been seeing this. This is lining up with the cards of the day that we've also been receiving, because yesterday you may note that this was a point of anxiety for the feminine, specifically in connection to the masculine energy that they saw approaching them at this moment, feeling some anxieties about that energy, trying to trust their intuition, feeling some blockages. Why? Because there is an anxiety right now around feminine that shows a general or situational potential distrust of the masculine energy that is around them right now. Feminine is trying to use their higher intuition, trying to tap into their higher spiritual self as they deal, or as they put some concentration right now on a masculine energy, and truly trying to understand the intentions and the purpose of this energy, whether this energy is assisting them in terms of their spiritual growth, or if they're acting as some sort of blocker. This imbalance is the space that is getting corrected here. And for feminine energy, the place that they are using, the situation that they are using to help them get this insight is entirely resting on these 2 cards here. Looking at the masculine energy around them right now and asking themselves, are these places that they're seeing getting the appreciation that they acknowledge? Do they feel that there's a point of victory? Or are there imbalances that need to be corrected or addressed? While for masculine energy right now, this is a moment that you are feeling some uncertainty, specifically as it relates towards the feminine energy, that you yourself are in a space right now where you are trying to create a better sense of balance in your own life. You are feeling like you are hoping for a victory, but you're not feeling seen or appreciated to the degree, the desire that you would hope. And as a result, you have a lot of concentration right now to a feminine energy that you are seeing right now is in their spiritual alignment. Could, however, I will point out, this energy typically can sometimes come across as more cold, as more logical. And there's something about this energy that is creating a recalibration point for the masculine in recognizing that they can't just necessarily go towards this type of energy from a place of entirely speaking from their passion. that instead there needs to be some kind of approach, and there's some anxiety about how to make that approach, how to create this point of communication to a feminine energy who they are masculine is observing in this place and in this situation. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now. The next card in our 5-card spread we have coming through right now with Star in its reversal. Again, it's going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine energy right now, there is some anxiety about not being able to be your most authentic self right now. Some concerns about being fully seen, fully appreciated. Did I say fully appreciated? I meant fully appreciated. Feeling like this situation is potentially creating an imbalance. And a lot of this imbalance, the solution potentially is around the masculine energy coming towards you right now. Asking yourself, is this energy one that you are feeling that you can be your most vulnerable, honest expression of self with, that you're going to have a victory here? Or is this an energy that is going to potentially put you into this space of not necessarily being able to do that because they might not be coming towards you from the most the best intentions, or with your own considerations involved. Now, again, for some of the feminine right now, this is a point of consideration. So this could be looking at a masculine and trying to understand if this is the case, or this could be having a manifestation of masculine that you are trying to work through right now, that you feel you have these difficulties with. While for masculine energy right now, what we're really seeing is happening is this is a moment where you are feeling some communication block right now, or some or some concerns around how to communicate with the feminine that you see in this high priestess energy, that you're recognizing you kind of need to kind of change your approach, if you will. You have to adjust your alignment to be able to communicate with this energy to some ways, and feeling some anxiety about having a point of success with this energy, specifically because, and I will point out, for some masculine energy, this might not necessarily be a singular manifestation of feminine. This could represent two different manifestations of feminine right now, or a single manifestation of feminine that is embodying both of these qualities. For masculine right now, having a moment where, while your orientation right now is very much in trying to get in connection to this energy of the Empress, the High Priestess, that is in this higher spiritual context right now, there is a feeling of not being able to reach that energy, either with it being a star in its reversal, specifically because, like we said, it's keeping itself at a distance from the masculine energy for fears of not being able to be vulnerable or exposed, or there's something around this feminine energy here that's in the High Priestess that is not necessarily coming as allowing the masculine energy to communicate it with to a degree, because of another feminine energy that is somehow involved in the circumstances or situation that is not allowing, that they are witnessing is not coming through in a space where they could be their most authentic expressive self. So a lot of confusion right now between the masculine and feminine energies that we're seeing during this retrograde period. The next card we have, the final card for our 5-card spread before we start drilling down on these cards right now, is Temperance. There is a feeling right now of trying to be patient through something. There's something about this energy right now that is just kind of allowing a moment that needs to be worked through, that needs some time put on it to allow for some clarification to come through. For feminine, we're seeing that some of that imbalance, some of that uncertainty, there's a feeling or understanding that the uncertainty they may have around this masculine energy right now is something that can be found through time, through putting time towards this. While for masculine right now, there is a feeling of trying to create this sense of balance, trying to find this balance, trying to have this point of victory around a feminine that's either has been a bit apart from you, or some balance between different feminine energies right now that are not necessarily in alignment around you right now, through the act of your own planning and patience. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, clarification between our Justice card in its reversal and the Six of Wands in its reversal. So again, a moment of feeling an imbalance and a sense of imbalance and feeling the anxiety that something about that imbalance is not letting you kind of reach this point or degree of victory that you're hoping for. Needing and requiring to put attention here specifically so that you can move into these spaces that are going to allow the most victorious circumstances for you right now. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with the Two of Wands. Communication, communication, communication. This is a time, again, beautiful energy for the beautiful energy as a solution to the Mercury retrograde energy that we're seeing. Because what we're really seeing right now is a recognition that this is all requiring better planning, better communication, a lot of work right now in utilizing the tools at your disposal to plan, to coordinate, to communicate the path forward that is going to lead you to success, and understanding that that communication, that planning is what is also going to bring in some of this balance that is required in this circumstance or situation. Continuing to get clarification right now in the Six of Wands in its reversal in combination with the High Priestess in combination with the King of Wands in its reversal. So for feminine right now, feeling a point of anxiety, feeling some concerns right now around some of the masculine energy that's around you right now or is lingering from the past, really looking at it, asking yourself if this energy is coming towards you in the correct fashion, with the correct plan, with the correct intentions, or is it operating in a space that is just very heavily invested in their own plans, in their own desires at this moment? While for masculine right now, this being a moment of feeling some doubts, trying to get to a point of victory, feeling like you are being underseen or not reaching that point of victory right now towards a feminine that you feel is in this High Priestess, someone that you may turn to a lot for this higher spiritual insight, for this higher knowledge, but feeling some discommunicate connection point from this energy and connecting with you, either its own ability not to want to connect with you right now, or it not necessarily seeing you, feeling some anxieties that it might not necessarily be seeing you in the right way or the right fashion. May I please have one card to clarify right now? Clarification coming right now in Two of Swords in its reversal. Decisions need to be made, decisions and following one's higher intuition. For feminine right now, there is a moment right now of looking at some masculine energy around you, not feeling this anxiety, feeling some of this uncertainty, but really allowing right now your intuition to guide you on what energy you want to move away from that isn't serving your highest purpose, so that you can create that higher sense of alignment right now. We are seeing this a lot with the feminine energy. There's a heavy concentration on the self right now. Masculine energy needs to be proceeding a lot right now in the feminine energy with a bit of caution, because we are seeing here that not only is the feminine energy right now in a space of High Priestess, so they're really channeling into their higher spiritual self, their higher logic, their higher intuition, but they are not afraid to cut off anything that they do not feel is in alignment with themselves right now. So for a lot of the feminine energy right now, this is moving away from any energy that they do not feel is aligned to that higher purpose that they're trying to move towards right now. While for masculine energy right now, there is a moment that you are experiencing some point or degree of feeling like you are not being seen or appreciated by an energy that is in this High Priestess, feeling this inability to connect to it, but also recognizing right now, trying to take some swift action, trying to follow your own intuition on what you need to remove or what you need to cut away from so that you can get in better communion with this High Priestess energy. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, clarification between our High Priestess and the King of Wands in its reversal in combination with the Star in its reversal. So for feminine right now, this could be an observation right now towards a manifestation of masculine that, and again, it's going to feel a little different depending on whether you like how this aligns in your own collective reading. For some of the feminine energy right now, this is moving away from any masculine energy right now that you feel may have potentially other feminine energy connected to it that they aren't necessarily talking well about, or you've experienced some moment that the energy does not seem to celebrate that movements of authenticity, that movement into like allowing feminines to be in their most authentic space. This could be a moment for feminine, the high priestess feminine, looking and observing a masculine that is in this space and recognizing this as such, or feeling similarly that there is a masculine energy right now that is not allowing you to be in your space of being your most authentic self and allowing your higher judgment to guide you in this moment. Or for masculine energy right now, we are seeing that there is potentially an issue that you are experiencing. So we are seeing this mirroring right now around a feminine energy that does feel a bit separate from you right now. And that is, and the reason that they are feeling separate is because they're in that higher logical framework right now. They're following their intuition, and you are trying to move them into a space where they potentially are not coming through in a more loving fashion because they do not feel like they can be vulnerable or expressive to you in this moment, trying to work through a situation of this. Or for some of the masculine collective, this could specifically be an issue that is arising right now between two different feminine manifestations. One that is following their higher intuition, and another and feeling kind of cold and distant from you right now because of the lack of communication. The other is not necessarily allowing you to come close to them right now because they feel they cannot be in their most vulnerable open position. They may even be aware of each other right now because these are very intuitive cards, and this is also creating a bit of an issue for you right now. So masculine, regardless, we're seeing that this is a bit of a tricky situation that you're finding yourself in right now with this retrograde period. There seems to be a lot of communication that needs to be had to get everybody on the same page. Continuing to get clarification right now between our star in its reversal in combination with the Temperance card. So a moment right now, or a circumstance or situation where for feminine right now, this is moving into a space right now of trying to be your most authentic self, not necessarily feeling like you're there right now, not necessarily feeling like you're being fully seen and appreciated to the degree or desires that you want, but also putting a lot of faith and time and patience into this, feeling like there's something here that will be corrected with time. And for masculine right now, there is a lot of attention again towards a feminine energy that you feel might not necessarily be as vulnerable, as open towards you right now in this moment. But again, putting a lot of attention right now in allowing for that space of time to come through, for allowing for the time to bring this energy into a space where they will be able to be more trusting, where they will be able to be more vulnerable, where they will be able to be more open and expressive. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now in the Lovers. We love seeing this. So this is really interesting right now because there is this again. I almost feel like these energies are like recognizing that there is a lot of conflict happening in the air right now because there is something here that is kind of putting one's trust in time. That is really saying that the solution to some circumstances right now are going to play out with divine timing, that allowing yourself to trust the process right now is going to lead you to those situations and circumstances that lead to those higher spiritual unions. For feminine right now, there is a recognition that you're not necessarily feeling like you are in a space right now where you can be your most expressive, vulnerable, full self, allowing for some time to play out to give you this point of understanding. As I said, moving away from the places that are showing that they cannot provide this to you. And as you do so, moving into those more harmonic partnerships that are showing you that you can be in your most expressive space, but understanding that this isn't something that happens overnight, that it requires time and energy in order to build this type of connection. While for masculine, again, and this is where we see that reflective point coming through, there is similarly a moment right now that you are also putting your faith in time. Because while you are seeing there is some feminine energy around you right now, that you are feeling is not necessarily in a point of being completely vulnerable, completely open, completely expressive. There is this degree of patience that you're ready to put towards this right now to allow yourself to prove to this energy that this is something that they can do so that you can move into this deeper connection. So really what we see that's happening right now that is allowing the glue to go through any of these difficulties is hope. Hope is what is binding these connections right now. Hope and degree of patience is what is going to be bringing the higher spiritual unions into manifestation, which we love. Let's continue to get clarification on these cards right now. Clarification coming through right now. And you know what? I actually need to do another point of clarification here because I just realized that, again, much like the retrograde, I did a slip up. That was also the connection right now with these energies. The lover's energy is here. The lover's energy is also coming through here underneath these cards as well. So what we're really seeing here is this is a degree or moment that is happening for these energies, where for the feminine energy right now, what we are also seeing is a moment that they are not necessarily feeling like they are in a connection with the masculine. They are having a point of questioning it. They are not necessarily communicating to the full extent or desire that they would with this masculine energy. But there is this hope or this desire or this attention to the higher spiritual union. That is why the feminine energy right now is being so cautious toward the masculine energy. While the masculine energy right now is looking towards a feminine manifestation that they are feeling some of this separateness towards right now. They're recognizing that this feminine energy is kind of holding itself at a distance, maybe even potentially, if not a singular feminine energy right now, maybe even potentially two different manifestations of feminine energy around the masculine energy right now, feeling some uncertainty in terms of how to proceed, but with a focus towards this higher spiritual union. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, clarification between our star energy and its reversal and the temperance card. So again, the period of time and the waiting to allow for that point of exposure to come forward. For feminine, this is being able to feel like you can be your most expressive self right now. For masculine energy, this is a moment of really trying to be patient towards the feminine, to allow them into a space where they can be their most authentic expression of self. Page of Cups in its reversal. Nobody is playing games right now. Nobody wants to play games is what we are seeing. And for masculine, there's a recognition right now of potential self-correction, of going into a space and realizing and recognizing that one cannot come forward in a less emotionally immature fashion right now, that this is a situation or circumstance that requires a degree of emotional connection in order to proceed. Working through this, allowing this to be a moment of growth right now for the masculine energy on their own emotional journey, as they try to build this connection point with an energy that is feeling at a distance because they feel like they cannot necessarily be vulnerable towards this energy right now. While for masculine energy, feminine energy right now, this is a moment that you are holding a lot of energy back from yourself right now. You're putting yourself at a distance because of some experiences where you have not been able to be your most authentic expression of self. And this is why you're being very careful about the energy coming towards you, making sure that it's proceeding with a degree of seriousness towards one's own emotionality, instead of coming from a sense of or degree of immaturity or play. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, clarification between our Two of Wands in combination with our Two of Swords in its reversal. Using this opportunity to really plan, to really communicate, using the tools at your disposal to allow these communications, maybe even potentially a lot of digital communication today. Heavy card for the digital for me when I pull for this card, as well as this Two of Swords in its reversal. Having this moment of making the plans, going ahead right now, and cutting away or cutting off anything that you feel is not aligned to you right now, using your intuition to really guide you in these moments. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with, there it is, the card of the day coming back up, the Three of Cups. This is an observation of celebration points. There is a moment, even in this retrograde period, that you are recognizing that you are moving towards spaces and places that are bringing you joy, abundance, positivity, feeling this degree of celebration right now. And it is this energy right now, the energy right now that is supporting you, that is creating these spaces and places of celebration, having these moments around you right now, that is really guiding your path forward in terms of what you're trying to plan for yourself, and cutting away from those things that are not moving in this degree or capacity with that same level of positivity and enjoyment. Continuing to get clarification right now between our Two of Swords in its reversal in combination with the Lover's card. So again, allowing this to be an opportunity, taking that action forward, cutting away, cutting off from the places that you feel you need to right now, allowing your intuition to help you do these decisive actions, specifically for the desire, for the degree of wanting to move forward in connections right now that you feel are in higher spiritual alignment, that are creating these higher spiritual partnerships. Doesn't necessarily need to be romantic, can be anything in this capacity in your life, any partnership that builds on the degree of two people coming together to create something greater than themselves. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now. With our Nine of Swords in its reversal, this is the moment of easement. This is moving away from those issues and situations and circumstances that have been causing you pain, that have been causing you anxiety, that have been causing you frustration. It is this moment allowing yourself to, we saw this, we've been seeing this in the cards so much, this push and pull, unable to let go, unable to release. This is that moment that we're seeing that the release is coming right now. You're allowing yourself to take those decisive actions, simply to create, not only to create an easement in your own difficulty, in your own sadness, in your own fear right now, in those situations that have been haunting you or causing some kind of pain or degree of sadness around them right now, but because you see that there are potential partnerships around you right now that are going to build higher spiritual connections, that allow the potential, allow the opportunity for these higher spiritual connections. And this is what is giving you the encouragement right now to move with such decisive capacity and follow your intuition in instinct and take actions of separating yourself from those things that are not aligned to your path. Continuing to get clarification right now between our Lover's energy in combination with the Page of Cups. So everybody moving forward right now with a very heavy degree of seriousness, putting a lot of attention into serious partnerships in what is aligning that is going to create better unions going forward. Those unions, those partnerships that build those higher spiritual karmic connections, those higher spiritual paths, and rejecting any of the energy that feels like it's coming forward right now from a place of frivolousness, from a place of self-interest. For some, even using this as a moment of emotional maturity, of recognizing that one needs to do the emotional work right now and come forward in a higher degree, in a more emotionally expressive or open way in order to achieve these types of partnerships. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with the Wheel of Fortune. We love this. There's an acknowledgement here that this is how you move forward on the karmic path. This is how you continue on your own growth cycle. That the reason that you're allowing this, if you are moving from this space, you are either rejecting those energies that you feel are coming from a place of self-interest or haven't done the emotional work right now. Wow. Or you are allowing yourself to recognize that you yourself need to do this emotional work on yourself. You need to allow yourself to move into things from emotion in a more emotionally expressive way, because this is what is going to lead to higher karmic alignments, better emotional spiritual connections, and keep you on your higher karmic path. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, between our Three of Cups in combination with the Nine of Swords in its reversal, feeling some sense of delight, feeling some sense of celebration right now, having some moment right now of energies that are to some degree or capacity are allowing you a point of celebration. and moving away right now from simply potentially even having like a point of easement right now, just giving yourself some space to enjoy yourself, potentially even enjoying yourself this weekend, trying to create this moment of enjoyment for yourself right now, enjoying the energy around you and allowing it to help you guide yourself away from anything that has been weighing on your mind or creating too much doubt or fear or anxiety for you at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with our Queen of Wands, and we love to see it. Guys, there is so much feminine energy on the table today. So a lot of shifts right now happening specifically with the feminine energy. I got to say that we got a lot of feminine energy here right now, but we are also seeing that it is in this moment that feminine energy, again, is going to feel a little different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine today, this is allowing for a degree of shifting happening today. We definitely are seeing some sort of shift occurring within you right now, because while we have seen that you have been in a space where you've been less in an attractive mode, you've been less in a mode where you've been putting some energy into the heart space, we see here that this is that moment, this is that opportunity that you're finding that degree of getting back into that point of manifestation, getting back into your own personal power, coming out of some of the reversals that we've been seeing and grounding yourself today. And you're using these opportunities right now of delight around you, using these moments of celebration, enjoying yourself, allowing yourself to have these moments of pleasure for yourself right now, are moving you out of some of the headspace that you've been in that may have been causing some issues around your own doubts and fears right now. And this is what is allowing you to move into this moment of truly being able to feel like you're coming into your own power. You're seizing this degree of control for yourself right now. With or without the masculine energy, I should point out. While for masculine energy right now, this is going to feel a little bit different. Again, depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine. So for masculine energy right now, what we're really seeing is this is a concentration right now. Again, also in terms of feeling that there are some places and spaces right now that you're just trying to find a moment of delight, allowing yourself to come into this moment of pleasure, allowing yourself to enjoy some moments for yourself right now, easing out of some of these heavier burdens. And a lot of this being channeled right now through a manifestation of feminine that you experience as this Queen of Wands energy, that this energy is helping you in this moment find this kind of higher center in yourself. And I will point out, for some masculines, this is going to feel a little bit different because, as I said, we got multiple manifestations of feminine on the table right now. So for masculine right now, we're looking at a feminine energy that's either a very complicated feminine energy right now, or it could potentially be more than one manifestation of feminine right now that you are moving between. Specifically, one manifestation of feminine right now that you may be feeling is more cold and cut off because it's not being seen or appreciated, or it's creating this point of distance. But you're finding some kind of point of moving into a space of enjoyment right now, or finding some higher delight right now with a manifestation of feminine that is coming into this energy here. While for some masculine right now, it is this situation that you are recognizing that you need to create right now, that you recognize is going to bring this more cold, cut off feminine energy back into their center. It is the acknowledgement and understanding. It is the solution to the problem of the feminine energy being too much in their own headspace, being cold, being cut off right now. This is the manifestation of masculine, recognizing that by creating these moments of celebration right now, creating this moment of removing fears, this is what is going to help you get in connection with this energy, ground this energy, and bring them back into an open and passionate space. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Nine of Swords in its reversal in combination with the Wheel of Fortune. Again, allowing this moment to be one of release, allowing yourself to release these doubts, these fears, these anxieties that may have been weighing on over you right now. by allowing yourself to trust in your own karmic journey, allowing yourself to move through, to allowing yourself into a flow state where you are experiencing instead of trying to carry or hold or change, just allowing the wheel to move right now, giving yourself the patience in understanding that anything that isn't in alignment will, with time, move into a correction point. May I please have one card to clarify? Whoop. Clarification coming right now. With the Eight of Pentacles in its reversal. This is a moment, this is giving a lot of like day off energy is what we're really seeing. That's what's so funny about this reading right now. It really is giving like a weekend vibe. It's like a weekend warrior vibe is what we're really seeing right now with this energy, which is why I'm laughing so hard, because it really is just like, it's also a moment right now that there's a recognition of easing up on one's own necessity to work is what we're seeing. There's something here about just allowing yourself to go through a flow state today. That's the reason that you're not feeling so much anxiety, is because you're not putting so much concentration on your own work right now. And that degree, like it's literally just being like, I'm just going to go with the flow today. I'm just going to go, literally masculine and feminine are like, I'm just going to go with the flow today. I am checked out. I am off. I am off right now. Today is like the retrogrades, like holiday. It's just like, we're just going to enjoy ourselves. It's a Saturday. We're not going to worry about anything. We're just going to enjoy ourselves in this moment. That is what's allowed. It's very funny. That's what's allowing this degree of like putting aside some of the anxieties, if only temporarily for the moment, to just embrace this like flow state. There's a thought we're also seeing here. It's almost a consideration, be like, tomorrow might get back to work. Tomorrow we may have to pick these back up, but not today, is what we're really seeing. Final card for today's spread, clarification between our Queen of Wands and our Eight of Pentacles in its reversal. So there being this moment right now, and again, it's going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind, these are not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For feminine energy right now, there's actually a moment that's coming through very empowering today. Letting yourself just kind of feel into your own energy, allowing today to ground yourself, maybe even trying to put a lot of focus on getting things done, channeling your passion, channeling your creativity, really getting back into your passionate center that we've seen you kind of moving away from, potentially even at the start of today. Like as the day progresses, we almost see that the feminine is getting more deep into their own root chakra, into their own creativity, into their own passion. But also like allowing this to be almost a moment of leisure, allowing this to be almost like a day of pleasure as you kind of embrace this energy. While for masculine right now, this is an energy of potentially putting a lot of the work that you have today aside, putting a lot of these concerns around work right now aside, with a lot of orientation around a manifestation of feminine right now that a lot of your attention is drawn to, that you feel is in this energetic zone, that is coming into their own power, that is feeling like they are creative and expressive. And something about this energy kind of giving you this moment of easement, allowing yourself to get your mind off your own work today as you concentrate on an energy in this zone. May I please have one card to clarify? Devil in its reversal. You weren't expecting this to become a healing journey today, were you, my friends? But here it is. This is the healing journey that we're seeing, because what we're really seeing here is there's something about this moment that is allowing, like I said, allowing that weight to come off, allowing the weight of the heavier karmic connections to move away today, allowing the weight to be eased. For feminine, you are finding that the way that you're moving away from bad modalities of thoughts, unhealthy coping mechanisms, potentially even again, unhealed karmic energy that you may be feeling a lot of pull towards right now. You are finding the solution to that energy right now is coming into this expression of yourself, allowing yourself to channel a lot of your own passion, a lot of your own creativity in this moment. And maybe even feeling a little less of the work being done today, but all for the sake of your own healing. So today is going to feel like a very healing day for the feminine energy. While for masculine energy for today, for masculine energy, what we're really seeing here is there is this all similar moment of healing that's coming in a different way right now. That this is a moment that you are feeling an easement away from those bad modalities of thoughts, those unhealthy coping mechanisms, those unhealed or unhealthy karmic pulls that you are feeling pulled towards right now. And potentially, again, having a bit of easement in your own work today, allowing this to be a day of ease, but with a lot of concentration potentially towards a manifestation of feminine that either metaphysically or tangibly that you are feeling is in this place where they are possessing this creativity, possessing this communication, and feeling that there's something in communication with this energy that is allowing you to heal. Continue bottom of the deck on today's reading. We have Page of Wands. Going to feel a little different. So this has to do, this is very interesting to have for bottom of the deck on us today, because even while we do see that there is a lot of concentration right now on the self, on the healing journey, there is still some back of the mind thoughts right now on some communication that is being weighted on for both masculine and feminine energy. For masculine energy right now, this may be something that you are embodying more. This may be the understanding that, again, we see here that there is some feminine energy right now that you want to come forward with, but you are feeling the anxiety about how to do so. You are feeling like some of that energy might not necessarily, be as open or as accommodating to it. And we see that you're doing a lot of work to try to work through that right now. So a lot of this is kind of a lot of addressing around your own approach as it relates to some communication that you are trying to create in a new or different way, trying to channel this place in a state that is going to allow for this opening, if you will. While for feminine, and there is also like almost like a bit of a childlike quality here, I will say, for masculine, feeling like there is something about your inner child at work that has to come about here, because we see here that you have to come towards this energy from an emotional center. So this is kind of bringing out some like more childlike energy towards a masculine right now, which is very intriguing. While for feminine right now, this is a lot of attention potentially being paid right now towards some communication that you are still waiting from, that you are feeling needs to come through to a degree, but it has not come through. But even as you're having this moment of coming into your own self, there is this recognition of kind of waiting on some outside communication, on some clarity to come through as you move through this. That is our daily collective read for the day. I want to thank you guys so much and being here and experiencing it with me. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. My private readings are done over video with the option of recording sent to you afterwards. And if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber ID at the point of payment. Please also remember, if you're booking a private reading, it is a two-step process. You have to book the reading and you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you would like to have a reading with me. Also, please remember, I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a personal reading. I will never DM you. I will never slide into your DMs. I will never inbox you. I will never tell you that your great, great, great ancestor sent you to me. The only way you can have a reading with me is if you book one on my website. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and having this reading with me today. And we will do this again tomorrow.